Amigos, bienvenidos a un nuevo video, una entrevista que nos va a hacer viajar a los 70s. Vamos a estar hablando con Precious Wilson del grupo Eruption. Vamos a estar hablando sobre Frank Farian, sobre Boney M, sobre One Way Ticket, este gran smash hit, este gran temazo que tuvo Precious Wilson con el grupo Eruption. Vamos a estar hablando sobre su música en los 80s, de una película fantástica interpretada por Michael Douglas y Danny DeVito, y mucho, mucho más, así que empecemos. So, welcome, bienvenida, welcome Precious Wilson to my YouTube channel.
Thank you. Hello. Is it hola? Hola?
Hola.
Hola. Hi everybody.
How are you? Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. I mean, it's a real pleasure actually, because obviously the music that we're speaking about happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm just really happy to still be in the music business, still doing what I love. And it's kind of like the only thing I know, because I left school and went straight into the music business. So it's a pleasure for me to be here.
Oh, thank you very much. You look precious, like Precious Wilson, but you look precious, gorgeous, adorable. I love your look. You look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, I asked you before about that records that you have in your background. You know, I want to know about that things.
Okay, so these are the silver disc from back in the day, the good old days.
Yeah.
And I say it like that because over the years since I started as a teenager, the whole music industry has changed so much. I'm sure you know that yourself. And in the old days, before download and streaming, people literally had to go into a shop in person to buy a single vinyl or an LP, an album. And also we didn't have social media. And so your fans became your fans because if you were lucky, you might have been on television, but basically it was from touring and doing shows and concerts. And so these discs are the evidence of all the people who walked into a store to exchange their cash money, as it was. It wasn't, whatever cards we have nowadays, in exchange for the records, for the music. And so there are different ones. There are gold discs, and there's platinum, and there's silver. These are the only ones I could find because, when I was younger, I did not realize the value and how much these things were going to be important. So I gave them to family members. I gave it to my cousin. Hey, take this. I gave it to my mother. Oh, take this. She gave it to my other aunties. And anyway, so these are what survived. So this one, for example, is a platinum disc from Boney M. When I went solo after singing with Eruption, I went solo, and my first solo single was a song called Hold On, I'm Coming. And this song appears as a special guest on Boney M's album called Oceans of Fantasy. Oceans of Fantasy. So that's that one. And then there's a gold album from Australia. There's also a gold for the single I Can't Stand the Rain, also from Australia. And there is a silver disc for One Way Ticket from the UK. And interestingly, from South Africa, a song that not a lot of people know, that's this disc there. This song called You Ain't Got Love, which was on one of my solo albums. You ain't got love. You ain't got love.
You work with Boney M, with Frank Farian. I want to know about Frank Farian, like being there working with him, doing music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Frank was an extremely successful producer. He produced Boney M, he produced Eruption. He also produced several of my solo albums. He had the gift and the talent of knowing what people would love, what
Hmm.
the listeners would love. But interestingly, as I've said before in quite a few interviews, Frank Farian was very focused on the German record market. He he understood what the German people would like, and when Eruption went to Germany from London, because we won a talent competition. This is how Eruption started professionally. I met the guys through a friend of mine. I mean, each member of Eruption will tell you their own story
Hmm.
of how they came to the group, how we got together. But my story is that through a girlfriend of mine, we were going to performing arts classes after school. This was a project which was run by the local government for teenagers, so
Yeah.
you'd have something to do after school. And there we learned about singing, just generally singing, drama, and dance. And this friend of mine, we were at the class, but there was no teacher. So, oh no, the class is cancelled. What shall we do? So my friend Debbie was her name. She said, let's go down to Clapham Junction, which is southwest London.
Okay.
Let's go listen to this band. I said, yes, let's go, because if we go back home, our parents won't let us out. Well, let's go to Clapham Junction. So we went there, and the guys were playing, and Debbie introduced me because she knew the bass player. And she told them that we would do songs at our performing arts classes. And they said, oh, yeah, so you think you can sing, huh? So I said, yes, we can. So we went through a list of songs, trying to find a song that they knew and that we knew. And finally, we found a few songs and we sang along just for fun, just for a joke. And the next time, with our parents' permission,
Yeah.
when we were free on the weekend, we went along again and we sang with them. Eventually, they asked us to join the group just for some local shows, and we did. And then Debbie left, and then I stayed, and then we got rid of the lead singer because he had a few problems with tuning. He wasn't singing in tune, and people was noticing and saying, "Oh, that doesn't sound right." Anyway, so we replaced him, and then we heard about. I'm generalizing, moving the story on very quickly, but we got to the point when we got a new singer. I was just singing backing vocals, and we entered a talent competition, and we won the talent competition. This was in 1975.
Wow.
Anyway, we won the talent competition with RCA Records, who were very popular then. And then nothing happened.
Oh.
They forgot about us. All the guys in the band, they were older than me and they had jobs. They'd given up their jobs to become professional musicians, and nothing happened.
No.
So we said to our manager, oh, come on, Danny, we need some shows. We need some money. We need to get to work. And Danny organized a 2-week discotheque tour in Germany. And it was after a few weeks when everything you can think of went wrong. The bus broke down. We couldn't get to the shows. The agent was taking all the money. We couldn't afford to eat. And where we were staying, the very kind husband and wife couple who owned the place where we were staying, they were making soup for us for lunch. And there was a bass player who was staying in the same bed and breakfast, we call it, like a motel.
Hmm.
And he told us that there was a studio down the road. So we were like, studio? Because, we were new to Germany. We couldn't speak German. We didn't know the area. We didn't know what's in the location. He said, yes, I go there to play bass. Really? He said, go down there and ask them if they can give you some work. So it, and this was a studio that Frank Farian was using, and he was working on Boney M's first, music at that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we told him about us, and he then sent one of his guys from his office to see a show that we had locally, and that was more or less like an audition that we did. They liked how we performed, and to cut a long story short, in the end, Eruption became Boney M's backing band, and we were there for their first European tours. We were the support act. That meant that we did the first half an hour,
Yeah.
and then there was a break, and then we came back on. I was singing backing vocals. My band, Eruption, they were playing the rhythm section, bass, guitar, keyboards, drums, and then they got some brass players and another two ladies to sing with me, and we became part of Boney M's band for their very first European tour.
That everybody knows the story about Boney M, that there were a lot of women who been there at first. Why not Precious Wilson was an option of Boney M?
What, to be in Boney M?
Yeah.
Oh no, I had the offer. No, Frank asked me to join them after I left Eruption. Yes, he actually asked me, and I mean, my mother thinks I'm crazy when I said no. What? You said no? I said, yeah. No, I think the thing was for me that I didn't see any good points about leaving one group to join another group. And in fact, to be honest, I think when I said no, how Frank got around it in a way was by having me appear on their album as a special guest. But I was never a member of Boney M. I mean, they were my friends. I mean, I'm still in touch with them now. And, Bobby and I were very close before he passed away. And so we're great friends because we worked together for so long. But I didn't want to be in the group. I felt that I felt, in fact, I didn't even want to go solo at first, to be honest with you, because I thought, oh my gosh, I haven't learned to sing. I didn't learn how to sing. Am I really good enough to start a solo career? And it was only because the songs that came in and the songs that I was co-writing with other people, I thought, oh, sounds quite good. And that's how my confidence built to pursue a solo career.
Oh, great that. Well, you had an excellent career, you said. Not only with Eruption, because you sang a song from a movie. I know the name in Spanish. I have to read the English name because I don't want to say it in Spanish. Exactly, yes, exactly.
How does it sound in Spanish? What does it sound like in Spanish?
La joya del Nilo, yes, la joya del Nilo.
Es que ayúdame a recuperar la joya. ¿Cuál joya? Nuestra joya más preciada. Oh, esa joya. Yo voy a zarpar en mi bote.
La aventura los separa.
¿Eso significa que me ofreces disculpas? Oh.
La aventura los une.
Recorrí la mitad de África para rescatarte.
Yo estaba perfectamente sin ti.
La joya del Nilo.
¿Por casualidad tú tienes un cuchillo?
Ni siquiera tengo ropa interior.
Michael Douglas, Catherine Turner, Danny DeVito.
The song is there. I think that was amazing. What did you feel in that moment?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, it was unbelievable because I think I don't know if you've seen my posts on Instagram where I actually said how it's like one of those unbelievable, like you pinch yourself to see if it's real, because I was such a big fan of Michael Douglas.
Oh.
Because he was a big star. Here he was on television in the UK. His father was famous, and I was thought, wow. And I also was happy because the people who wrote the song were very successful songwriters. They had written for Tina Turner. They wrote her song, What's Love Got to Do With It? And I thought, wow, they've written this song for me to sing?
Oh my God.
Whoa! Oh my gosh. So, I was very excited. And even now, I still feel honored to have had that opportunity.
Well, your smash hit, One Way Ticket, is a song that have a lot of style of from Boney M. Donna Summer too, because the intro of the song, you start with, I love that song. It's a catchy song. It's like a typical song from the disco era, from the 70s. I want to know the story of that song, of that single.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. It was typical of that era. And I think also, I don't know why, but so many artists were attracted to Germany. As you've mentioned, Donna Summers, um, and obviously we were there, but there were other people. I think Tina Turner was also there. I think even before the Beatles um,
Yeah,
were playing in Germany
that's
in
true.
Bar Club somewhere, something like that. Um, and Donna Summers recorded in Munich, and we, Eruption, Boney M, we recorded just outside of Frankfurt. So it was all happening in Germany at the time. That was the place to be. And that song, One Way Ticket, again, the same guy who came to audition us to get the job to work with Boney M as their support act and backing band, he brought that song to Frank Farian. It's a man, I always have to mention his name because
Yes.
people do not know everybody who contributes to the success of these things. No one does it alone. There's always a team of people whose name no one knows, but who have contributed so much in order for things to have the success that they have. Now, this man, Hans-Jörg Meyer is his name. He brought the song to us. It was an old Neil Sedaka song from, I think it was out in the 60s or something like that.
Wow.
And we heard it. And we, Eruption, we immediately liked the melody. We liked, we just liked the way the chords went and the story, what the lyrics were saying. And we wanted to give it our own arrangement, our own rendition of the song. And so taking into consideration, it was the disco era. So obviously it had to be danceable, you had to take the tempo up.
Yes.
And in Germany at the time, in terms of the style of the music, was evolving from Schlager music into this kind of like a march tempo, this kind of four on the floor, which is disco, And so we brought the tempo up. At the time, there were also many songs which started with a piano introduction with humming, like Thelma Houston, Don't Leave Me This Way was one of those songs.
Yes.
There was also the two ladies, Baccarat. Baccarat also had Yes Sir, I Can Boogie, also started with a piano intro. So guess what? We thought, let's start with a piano intro. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's just go with what's happening. And it was as simple as that. But the other main thing that we did to that song was to create a hook, a refrain where the listener, where people could feel engaged in the song and sing with us. Yeah. So that's why we came up with the chorus, one way ticket. Just didn't matter if you couldn't speak English, didn't matter if you were Chinese,
exactly,
Indian, Spanish, everyone could sing along. And so basically that was how we came up with the arrangement of that song.
That's true, that's true, because One Way Ticket is easy to sing, to say, one way ticket. And an example for that is Russia, because in that country you have a lot of success.
Unbelievable. Now I sometimes say to myself, wow, who would have thought this girl born in Jamaica, family moved to England when she was 7 years old. Who would have thought my little tiny island, little Jamaican girl would go to places like Russia? It's like, what's happening?
Without the permission of your parents.
Exactly. And it was an interesting time with the Soviet Union, as
Yeah.
it was in those days. Our record label, our record company was based in East Berlin at the time. And I don't know if people know, but that was back in the day when East and West Germany was separated.
Yeah.
And to go from West Berlin into East Berlin was, sorry, the record company was based in West Berlin. Sorry, did I say East Berlin?
Yeah, the
No, it was
West.
based in West Berlin, sorry. Ooh. And to get from West Berlin into East Berlin, you had to go through Checkpoint Charlie with soldiers, with sniffer dogs. You had to have all your documents. And we were going in and out of East Berlin, in and out of East Germany, often because of one-way ticket.
Wow.
And through our popularity in East Germany, the other parts of the Soviet Union also heard about the music. And it was interesting because they weren't really allowed to listen to Western music. And later, when I did shows in Russia or in Moscow or in St. Petersburg, and I'd speak to the audience, they would tell me how they got the vinyl, how they got to listen to the music. Apparently, they would meet up in the forest and exchange records.
Wow.
So that anyone, maybe somebody had a Donna Summers record. Oh, I'll exchange it for a Boney M song. Oh,
Wow.
I'll exchange it for an Eruption song. Oh, this is how they got the music. And I was lucky enough to do a tour. I did 55 concerts just before the wall came down and then Germany reunited again. And that was when I really realized the power of the music and obviously the power of one-way ticket. I Can't Stand the Rain. And the thing with music is that when you travel
Yeah.
and you perform, it really makes you understand that human beings have so much in common. Music is so powerful. It breaks, as we said, it breaks through the language barriers. It connects people. It connects souls to soul. And we would do the shows, and people would come up to us to the stage and hand us a picture of their town, of their village, give us flowers.
Incredible.
They were so happy to get the music there. And it wasn't easy because in order for us to tour the Soviet Union, I had to send all the lyrics, all the words in my songs so that they could know what I'm singing about. That would have to be sent to the Ministry of Culture.
Yeah.
So they could check
Wow.
the lyrics.
Wow. Wow.
The other thing which is amazing is the impact that a song there are lots of songs like that has the same effects on people. But a song like One Way Ticket, people will say when they hear it, so many things comes back to them. The whole nostalgia, the memory of meeting their wife, meeting their husband, of the memory of the song uplifting them, living in a society where maybe it wasn't how they wanted to be, perhaps they weren't happy, but when they hear the song, their mood is uplifted. It's like a positive change in their spirit. And you say, oh, but it's just a disco song. But I think it's even more powerful than that when people hear, for example, One Way Ticket.
Yeah.
And I feel so lucky, and I'm sure the guys in the band would agree with me, that we feel very blessed to have been given or to have been chosen to present that song to the world.
And I want to know your newest stuff.
Oh yeah, my own style. It's just I just try to be me because I love singing, and when I sing, it makes me feel really good. So what I'm doing now, so I've just got a new single out called Something's Gotten Hold of My Heart.
Got a hold of my heart, keeping my soul and my senses apart.
And that's my current single. And the reason why, and that's the first song for my new album that I'm working on.
Wow.
And the reason why I chose that song, it's a cover version, but I love it. I grew up listening to it, so I thought, let me try it. And I decided to record it because I wanted like an easy transition from one-way ticket in the past to bringing me forward to now and to introduce myself to a new audience. And it is a song that also will still connect my old fans who maybe loved a song like One Way Ticket. And so with the remix of the song, which was done by a good friend of mine, Jonathan, from his production company called Ladies of Mars, I think they did an excellent mix to bring me up to date. And it doesn't sound like a disco artist trying to be young. And yeah, no, I think you need to be authentic. But it pleases from the feedback that people tell me.
Yeah.
They said that if someone has One Way Ticket, they would still like my new song. And if someone has never heard of me before, they would still like the new song. And I'm happy with that. I will take that.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Got a hold of my hand, dragging my soul to the beautiful land.
You talk about your fans, I think that maybe this is your opportunity, if you want to send any message to all your fans worldwide, not only in Europe, South America, Africa, South Africa, for example, that we talk about. This is your opportunity here on my YouTube channel.
Well, what I'd like to say to all you fans who have just discovered me, just go on YouTube and look at all the videos. I mean, I'm shocked how many videos are up there. And I think, oh my gosh, I said to myself, girl, you've been working a lot. There are so many shows. And some of them, I even forgot about them. And I said, oh my gosh, when was that? It's me. I forgot about that show. So, if you don't know anything about me, check out YouTube. But I'd like to say to the new fans, I hope you like what I've done and what I'm going to bring. And to the old fans, I would like to thank you from my heart for your support, for coming to the concert, for communicating with me through social media, which we can do now. And I'm so glad that we have grown up together and that you have been with me on this journey. And I'd like to thank you so much. I am so grateful.
So nice, so nice, so nice. Incredible, the power of the music, incredible that. Well, thank you very much for your time. It was very funny. I'm red. It was very funny.
It's you created this energy.
So lovely, so lovely. Again, thank you very much for your time. I wish you the best with your new album. And just keep in touch. You are so adorable, so adorable.
Thank you. It's the music, keeps me young.
Bueno, muchas gracias.
Oh, you're welcome. Muchas gracias. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.